Invitational, one of the most popular races in all of Southern California. Now, we're at the starting area, and you're saying, if it's so popular, where are all the people? Well, they've already run a People's 5K and a People's 10K. This is the elite race. All the other folks are lining this multiple loop course to watch these athletes run for the richest prize in all of California 10K racing. And what a field we've got put together. There's Uda Pipik from Germany. Right over there, bending over, getting ready to run. We've got Philemon Honeck, the defending champion. We'll develop the field as we go along. But joining me on the broadcast is our Ed Eystone, who just a couple of weeks ago became the national champion at the marathon at Twin Cities, with this victory making you, what, the 8K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon champion of the nation this year. Good job, boy.
Tell you, I got some range, don't I? Apparently I've been keeping my skills pretty careful.
Exactly. Now, when we talk about the men's competition here at the Arturo Barrios Invitational, it really sort of does come down to a two-man race.
Well, it really does. We have Philemon Honeck, the defending champion from last year, who I believe is in sub-28 state, who is running very well right now, and we have Luquette Swartboy, the marathoner who won the Philadelphia half marathon and showed he has some good wheels. He is getting ready for the New York City Marathon, so I think he's in sub-28 shape also.
They're just about to get underway, so we got to get on the press truck. Join us. This should be very fast. Runners set. And as always, at the start of a race, everyone, broadcasters and athletes alike, have got their finger on their watches, ready to press that button. For some reason, Ed, nobody trusts the official timers, and I don't know why.
I want to have the splits right here.
And already, Philemon Honeck is taken to the front. Now, the story that should develop in this race is how fast they can go. In talking to the athletes, and many times when you talk to African athletes especially, there's a different tack taken as far as what they want to achieve in the race. In the West, there's a Western element. No matter how fast you go, you want to win. Place has got everything to do, but the Africans, it seems to be different.
That's right, and Philemon has indicated that he would be happier with a super fast time here, and maybe not necessarily winning, than he would winning with the slow time.
It doesn't make sense to us, but as long as he accomplishes the goals that he's set forth, he'll be a happy man.
I came here to run, not to run for somebody else. If someone beat me, it doesn't bother me. I'll go home and correct my mistake and run against him, probably, and beat him.
Have you raced against Luquette Swartboy before?
I don't know who's that guy.
The guy that was just here when you were walking by. He was second at the World Championships marathon.
Oh, the marathon guy? Mm-hmm. I don't know him myself. It was my first time to see him today. So I don't know what's going to be happening tomorrow. I don't want to judge the book by its cover. I'll talk up the rest.
And maybe one of the more interesting stories taking place right now, and one we should point out, is that Luquette Swartboy is not in that lead pack. He's dropped off. He's leading that second pack, and he cannot let Philemon just run away with it. If he wants to win, he's got to close that gap, and he's got to close it soon.
Ed, you ran the race last year. You went fifth?
Yeah.
Fifth place. Talk about the nature of the course, the footing. Is it easy to find your rhythm? Do the turns make it more difficult?
Well, I believe it is a fast course in the sense that it is completely flat. The weather is usually fairly nice, but it's a winding course. 2 times we have to make 180-degree turns, and so the fact that you are making these intricate turns, running on grass, running on cement, can slow your pace down.
We'll be back with more from Chula Vista, California, right after we take this time out. To Chula Vista, California, home of America's latest investment in Olympic excellence. The brand new Olympic Training Center is being built, still under construction. The crowd, there's Uda Pipik is in the lead, and just behind is Nadia Prasad. So Uda Pipik, who is a low 31-minute 10K specialist, and when we spoke with Uda Pipik, she said her performance at home at the Stuttgart World Championships this summer really motivated her for the second half of the season.
I had a very good first half. And then it was coming a very deep point for me, because I think if you run at home and be just a 9th in the World Champs, it's not easy to understand. But now I think I'm back and I'm relaxed again, and I'm over this disappointing time, and so I'm looking forward, and I think it will be a good time tomorrow and in 4 weeks too.
So Nadia Prasad's running the New York City Marathon. Uda Pipik is running the New York City Marathon, and Olga Appel from Mexico is also running New York. So the women's field is loaded with women, all on the same page in essence, as far as where their training is. And so this race will be much more of an indicator for them. Whereas the men are coming from different positions. Some, like Philemon Honeck here, he's just focusing on this particular race. Luquette Swartboy has now made his move, and he is moving up into 3rd position. He's passed Silvio Guerra and Mike Bilyeu, and now he's coming on Barak Hussein. So he realizes, as we're only still within the first couple of miles of this competition, that what he needs to do is get on the shoulder of the man that he's going to have to race for the victory.
Okay, George, move up to the next.
When was your big breakthrough? What was the event, and when was the time that you opened your own eyes?
I ran 21K in my country, and 62 minutes, and it was a very fast time, and that's why I decided, man, you can be a world-class athlete, so why not go over to America or somewhere and challenge the top guys.
Philemon Honig debuted with this race last year. There ought to be a lot of college runners breathing a sigh of relief because of his debut. Because he ran so well here, he decided rather than compete as a collegiate and blow all the collegiates away, he was going to turn professional, and he's been running as a professional road racer since that time. He ran his first initial races very well, but then had a downtime after that.
We'll be back with more of the Foot Locker Road Race of the Month right after we take this time out. Tony Rivas along with Ed Eystone in Chula Vista, California. And right now, it is really Lieutenant Schwartzboy who is moving faster than Philemon Honig. The question is, does Honig know how close Schwartzboy is? The crowd will let him know. And now Schwartzboy is just about on the shoulder of Philemon Honig, and this is where the race begins. And Luquette Schwartzboy has caught our early leader, Philemon Honig. And they are shoulder to shoulder, and I think Luquette's looks better.
Well, you know, I've been picking Luquette's all week long, and this is just, it's making me feel good that he's made this move like this. Philemon went out so hard, and it's just so disheartening when you go out hard, you have a big lead, and then all of a sudden that runner is back on your tail and passes you. It just takes the wind out of your sails, and I think Philemon's feeling a little bit of that right now.
Time for this month's Power Bar Road Report. Power Bar, fuel for optimum performance. Arturo Barrios, the race namesake, he's getting ready for the New York City Marathon as well, and he did sort of a light workout today, part of the People's 10K. Let's take a look at Arturo in slow mode.
It's very exciting because the way I see it is, I give something back to the community and also something back to the sport. The sport has been great to me for the last, 15 years since I started running, really. And that's why, I feel so thankful that I can give something back to the sport. And who knows, maybe we can have in a few years, an Olympic champion, coming from Chula Vista. And, he or she can say, look, I ran your race, in 1980, 1990, 1991. And now, they are running the Olympics in the year 2008 or 2012. And that would be great, that somebody from this area or somebody who ran this race, becomes world record holder, an Olympic champion, world champion or something.
Pass Prasad into second, and she along with Pipik and Prasad all on the same page, preparing for the same thing.
I know she is running well, but I am running well also. My training is going great, and I just don't think about anybody else except myself.
And this is a surprise. Appel moves right on by Pipik into the lead. Now their 10K times are nowhere near one another. Olga Appel's at 32:09 on the track, and Uda's 31:26 last year. So this is really unexpected.
On the grass.
Well, may be that this race is coming to its climax.
Yeah, we're right at 4 miles now, and as we've made a couple of these turns, it's almost as if Luquette's is accelerating through the easy curves, and he has put some distance on Philemon, and I would say this race is in the bag for Luquette's.
And it's almost like he's a very fast runner. He's only been running 3 years. He was a 2:35 marathoner 3 years ago. Now he's a silver medalist at the World Championships.
This is only his second 10K on the roads, yet we see the wisdom that he has gained, I believe, through his marathon running and knowing the importance of running pace. He has clicked off for the first 4 miles, 4:30 miles, and as a result, he's run comfortably, easily, and we can see now that he's blown this race wide open.
Stay with me, George. Stay with me.
We'll be back with more from Chula Vista right after this timeout. Race of the month. Now let's go to one of our monthly features, the Reebok Training Tip. This month with Mexico's great Olga Appel.
23 years, 24. I started running after my little girl was born. And I started running to lose weight. I wasn't big, but after my baby, I didn't feel good, and I started running to feel good, to be fit.
The look on the face of Luquet Schwartzboy shows you that he's really working hard, and he's feeling the efforts of this race, too.
He is working, but he's got that crowd support right now, and I saw him sneak a peek over his shoulder, and it was almost as if to say that he saw that he had that gap, and I believe now he's feeling very comfortable with that.
He's almost got a lead to manage. He can afford to sort of come off it a little bit. The women's race has been as fascinating as the men's. We had a great two-woman duel early on with Persad of France and Uda Pipic, yet Olga Appel, who ran so poorly here last year, has made her move just like Luquet Schwartzboy. Yesterday, we went down to East Lake Green near the brand new Olympic Training Center. Everyone said, you know, Philemon Hanek, 351 miler, such a great talent. And if it came down to a kick, you'd never be able to stay with him. And yet, when we talked to Luquet himself, he said, I'm a fast guy, and he was not necessarily at all afraid of Philemon Hanek. Poor Barrios, who's sitting back in third place, running a tremendous performance, but the poor man has been in no man's land just about the entire way. Philemon Hanek, though, now is coming back. And this is one of the interesting, once broken, it's almost never do you see somebody come back.
And he has battled back.
And Luquet's is completely fallen apart.
That shows you what an expert I am. I was riding Philemon off not more than a half mile ago, and he's dropped down into another gear and has not only caught Luquet's, but now is pulling away.
We'll be back with the final strides of the Arturo Barrios Invitational right after we take this break. Stick with us. That ice stone, and we've had one of the more interesting 10K road races we've ever seen, as we've had 3 different scenarios develop themselves. We've declared champions 2 or 3 times over. We thought it was a little bit of a surprise, Olga Appel moving so swiftly by Uda Pipic, and Uda must have been waking up by that call.
Anytime you put that kind of adrenaline, that kind of effort to close gaps, it's going to slow down your ultimate time.
But he's made the final turn, and Philemon Hanek's going to defend. He's going to defend his title at the 5th Arturo Barrios Invitational. He went out at 4:21. He got caught and passed, and he had a gap he had to make up between 4 and 5 miles.
Now.
But Philemon Hanek in full stride hits the tape.
Whoa.
28-22 unofficially. And the race is for second. Barak Hussein is a 3:37 1,500-meter runner. He's not going to have enough, though. And Luquet Schwartzboy is going to hold on for second.
He's going to run into our truck if he doesn't move over.
28-40.
Hard effort on a hot day.
Great race by Barak Hussein at 28-44.
Looks like Rolando's a solid lock from 4th.
Rolando coming off a little calf injury, he said, from the World Championships. He's got to be pleased with this.
But this can't be a great boost of confidence for Luquet going into New York City Marathon. I think this is one thing that he hates more than anything. It's one thing that's happened to him about 4 or 5 times in the past in big meets, is going out hard, having a comfortable lead, and then falling apart at the last. You know, I don't think this is the best thing that could be happening to him right now going into New York.
It was a strange race. You went out by yourself, and then Luquet caught you. Then he opened up a gap, and then he died.
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. I knew already. I mean, that guy is a marathon runner, so he's not going anyway. You know, I just tried myself for me to give him a chance to lead, and I knew already I'm going to catch him with the last mile.
No respect. You have no respect for him.
I do. I mean, this is competition, you know. If I'm competing, you know, there's no friend. You know what I'm saying? After the race, yeah, we become friends.
Luquet, you made a great effort out there. Tell us a little bit about the race.
I ran like my plan. The first lap, I ran very easy. And the second lap, I was busy to catch the guys, and I catch them. And the last, I thought that it was after the second lap, I thought the third one was the last one. That's why I killed myself.
So there was a little confusion about how many laps you were to run.
I was really confused.
Now let's take a look at our Foot Locker scoreboard for men. Philemon Honeck wins the $4,000 first prize, well off his course record time, but the wind had something to do with that. Barak Hussein, the big surprise, in third place in his first major 10K. And now Uda Pipik has made the turn, and she's all by herself. Uda Pipik has just got the great marathoner shuffle, doesn't she? And this is a fine preparation for her New York City Marathon.
She does. She's in great shape.
32:16 for Uda Pipik unofficially.
And now we see Olga Appel, who's been training in Durango, Mexico, getting ready for the New York City Marathon.
And when we talked to her husband, Brian Appel, he was telling us she didn't expect to win this race. 32:36.
Well, this is a great race for Nadia Prasad, who trains in Utah. She's also getting ready for New York.
Uda, you're pleased with your time.
Yeah, that's true, because I had so many miles in the last weeks, and it's not easy then to change from the mileage to the speed, like a 10K here. And then it was funny. We all thought, I think Olga too, it's 2 laps and 3/4, but it was 3 laps and 3/4. And I was looking after 1 lap, hey, come on, it cannot be that we go just two laps and a little bit. And so Olga passed me, and this time she didn't know that it was 1 lap more.
Oh,
and
so people were confused.
Yeah, that's true. But here it's great if all people scream, and you can feel that they like the runners, that they like the atmosphere, and that's super. And I hope that we have in the future much more of these races, and that many people come to and visit us.
And the Foot Locker scoreboard for women, we have Uda Pipik once again cashing in, followed by Olga Appel and Nadia Prasad with a strong third-place performance. Trina Painter and Ula Marquette.
It was one of the most fascinating races we've ever seen on the Road Race of the Month. And Ed, there was sort of a reason this race took on 2 or 3 stages, with people making very big bursts to the lead and then dying very severely near the end. Our second-place finishers were both confused as the exact distance of the race course.
There was a misunderstanding about the number of laps that they had to do. And unfortunately, ultimately, I believe that responsibility lies with the athlete. They had some huge mile markers along the course, and you've got to pay attention to those and realize when people are standing